And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge.
This is the moment boxing fans never expected to see. Jake Paul, the internet star turned pay-per-view magnet, standing face-to-face with Anthony Joshua, one of the most dangerous heavyweights of the last decade. The instant they approached each other, the entire energy of the sport seemed to shift. When Jake faced Gervonta Davis, he towered over Tank and carried himself with confidence, calm, composed, and clearly the bigger man ready to impose his will. But this time, as he walked up to Joshua, he didn't look like the bully anymore. He looked like the one who might get folded. And everyone watching felt the same thing at the same time. This matchup is absolutely insane.
And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony, and I don't have, I'm global, so it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing. And people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him.
Not everybody thinks you'll die. Tyson Fury says you'll knock Joshua out. What's your response to that?
Smart guy. He sees what I see, I think, which is a weak chin in Joshua and a guy who's very, very beatable.
Now, it's the 50th anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle in Congo. Could you imagine you fighting Anthony Joshua there at the site of Ali Foreman?
That's a genius idea.
It's possible.
It's possible. That's what we should make happen.
And lastly, if this is happening, what's your final word to Joshua as you leave Wembley, where you may face him next?
Man, I'm going to embarrass you in front of the whole world and steal your whole legacy and embarrass you.
The face-off was tense. Jake tried to hold on to his signature smirk, the same confidence he brings to every event. He talked his talk, insisting he believes he can beat AJ, claiming he sees holes in Joshua's game, that size doesn't intimidate him, and that belief is everything. He repeated it with the same conviction he always has.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat. Knocked out, right? Yeah. He doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill, and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. But I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
But then there's Joshua, calm, silent, cold, completely unshaken and unimpressed. He didn't need to say much. His presence said it all. One man looked like he was stepping into the biggest challenge of his life, while the other looked like he was about to take the easiest payday of his career.
What they ran from. I delivered what he asked for $50 million for. I'm gonna give him a $50 million knockout.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion, because no one's running. In terms of 50 million, I'm a businessman. If there was 50 million on the table, you think I'm not going to take it for a fight?
And that's what makes this face-off so different. This isn't Jake standing across from a retired MMA fighter or a smaller opponent. This is Jake Paul facing a two-time heavyweight champion, a man who hits like a truck, and who knocked out the very same monster everyone said Jake should avoid, Francis Ngannou.
Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. 3, 2, 1. You've seen he's called him out, presumably.
Yeah, in 2026. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to go for the gold at the 2028 Olympics for surfing. It's clickbait, but he might just be mad enough to have a go. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, you saw a guy who has the same size as AJ and who has much more ability than Jake Paul, which is Francis Ngannou. And you saw what happened to him, and that was scary for a while. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but I don't recommend it for Mr. Paul.
I like Jake. He's a good promoter, very good promoter. And he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour, got good people around him, the key, so they know their business. There's a massive weight disparity, and that's a tough thing to give away, especially with somebody who's got so much physical advantage over him, and he's a young guy, AJ. He's not an old guy, he's a young guy. Will it happen? Who knows? Anything happens sometimes in our sport. But I think that is a big ask of Jake beating him. Big ask.
The moment this face-off hit social media, everyone had the same reaction. Jake Paul has lost his mind. How does a guy go from fighting Gervonta Davis, a fighter literally half his size, to facing Anthony Joshua, a 250-pound heavyweight with fists like bricks? How do you skip steps that huge? How does that even make sense?
Now you've gone from a 250-pound world heavyweight champion to a 135-pound, 5'6". I mean, it's bizarre. You know, you've got a cruiserweight fighting a lot.
But to understand how we got here, you have to rewind the chaos that led to this moment. Jake Paul wasn't supposed to be facing Anthony Joshua today. He was set to fight Gervonta "Tank" Davis. That matchup had the entire sport buzzing, with people picking sides and the hype reaching a fever pitch. Jake was the bigger man by a wide margin, and many genuinely believed he could beat Tank purely because of the size difference.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
You don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. You think that you think Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
5'5".
That's
You
what I'm
got
saying.
Jake Paul
He's
6'1".
a little man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a way.
But that entire storyline collapsed overnight. Tank's legal troubles blew up. His ex pressed charges for kidnapping and battery. Lawyers got involved. Court dates were set, and the fight with Jake Paul was canceled immediately.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis did something awful again, and no, it wasn't scheduling another fight with Jake Paul. He beat a woman. Again, and once again, I'm not talking about Jake Paul. If you know Tank Davis, you know he has a lot of run-ins with the law. But this is actually a civil suit over a certain criminal case that was dropped earlier. And while everyone is innocent until proven guilty, this looks really bad for him. While all the details aren't out, we know from the details from the original case, which was basically a shut case with a lot of evidence that he did it. That, along with his prior incidents, innocent until proven guilty, but yeah. You know, if you do something like 6 times, people are going to believe you did it the 7th. So why is this coming up again? Well, now we talk about Jake Paul. There were a lot of theories that the reason the original charges got dropped, despite it being pretty clear that he was going to get convicted, was he convinced her to stop pressing charges so that he can actually schedule this Jake Paul fight. Because it was announced the day after the charges were dropped. The Jake Paul fight isn't for another week, so does this put this in jeopardy? No, probably not, because it's a civil lawsuit. But I don't know how keen Netflix is going to be promoting a massive fight for tens of millions of people to see, with one of the stars being on trial for something like that. So I'll let you know more as more details come out, but I don't think it's going to get canceled, but it might. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
It wasn't negotiable. It wasn't salvageable. Tank was drowning in legal chaos, and Jake saw months of preparation go down the drain.
With or without the ankle monitor on?
I probably, that's corny. That's super corny. I don't know how much I weigh.
And the handcuffs too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam?
How do you win this fight?
That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage. And that hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a clown. We all know this. Anybody rocked a mohawk. Name
You
it.
want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the clown, buddy. You're the clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
Jake was furious, frustrated, and downcast. Because Tank wasn't just any fighter, he was a name. Beating him would have skyrocketed Jake's resume, and having that fight ripped away sent Jake into a frantic search for a new opponent, fast.
I don't know, I'm kind of in a sad mood. People don't realize how much effort is put into these training camps. Beat up a girl, dragged her through the parking lot, punched her in the face, and it's like, bro.
He tried going after Francis Ngannou, but that didn't materialize. Ngannou passed, yet Jake, being Jake, didn't stop. Instead, he did the unthinkable. He went after the man who had knocked Ngannou out cold.
I want to change subjects just a little bit here. And Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating. He could be fighting Jake Paul next. One, do you think it's good for boxing? And two, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he want to get a good win to put him back on the scene, that's a perfect win. You get a lot of money doing it.
He went after Anthony Joshua. Jake didn't just jump weight classes. He jumped weight universes. He skipped every step, broke every rule. And whether people love him or hate him, everyone is tuning in for the same reason, to see if Jake Paul finally gets knocked out cold. Dana White said it outright. This fight is a bad idea. Jake shouldn't be doing this, and he's going to get hurt. But that's exactly why everyone will watch, to see if this time Jake hits the canvas and doesn't get back up.
Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Anthony Joshua is not Ben Askren. He is not Nate Diaz. He is not Tyron Woodley. Joshua is a heavyweight powerhouse with world-class skills, clean, polished, strong, and seasoned against fighters who can break ribs in sparring. And now Jake Paul is daring to step into the ring with him under the bright lights on Netflix. It's madness, it's entertainment, and it's exactly the kind of chaos Jake thrives on.
The Joshua thing is crazy.
Is that a real conversation?
Jake's a fucking lunatic, and it's probably real. I saw Joshua knock out Francis Ngannou, and the guy was like out cold for 5 minutes. And this is a guy who had never been knocked down, let alone knocked out.
If he steps in the ring with him, and actually a bell rings and there are punches thrown, every bit of Jake Paul is not a real boxer conversation is gone forever.
After the face-off, fans couldn't stop talking. Jake tried to act unfazed while locking eyes with a man who could literally lift him off the ground with a single uppercut. AJ just stood there, looking like the final boss of boxing, while Jake worked to convince the world he belonged in that ring. Joshua didn't even need to respond. The image alone told the whole story.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
The craziest part is that Jake has wanted this fight for a long time. People think this matchup came out of nowhere, but he's been hinting at it for years. Always saying he wanted to test himself. Always saying he wanted to face the biggest names. Yet no matter how much confidence he has, no amount of preparation can fully ready him for someone like Anthony Joshua.
Hey, listen, you want Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
You really want Anthony Joshua?
Not only do I want him, but we're fighting next year.
But you saw him against Francis Ngannou, right?
Yeah, he's a beast. But this is what I'm saying. I want something that wakes me up. I want to wake up and be like, oh man, my life's on the fucking line. That type of shit excites me, bro. I need that challenge. I need that fucking crazy badass, we're going to fucking War 300 Spartan shit. It's in my soul. It's in my DNA. And so
this is the showdown that boxing fans never saw coming. Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight powerhouse. From canceled fights and legal chaos to daring leaps across weight universes, Jake's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Will he rise to the challenge, or will the canvas claim him? Don't miss a moment of this historic clash. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates and insider breakdowns.